Here is the infamous the Lasko 3733 that I picked up during bulk pickup month this year. This was the only fan of this type that I found. Kind of a bust this year. I didn't get much at all, but it's probably just as well. So this is cordless currently. Came with one leg, and it is dated 2020 to 2021, 0.8 the amps. This looks to have very little use on it. There's pretty much no dust to speak of inside the motor. And it looks like perfectly clean still. It's a Pro motor. It's kind of beat up. Guard's chipping and it's busted up at the top there. It's missing a couple slats. But the blade looks like it's intact fully. The bearings are not locked up. Doesn't sound the greatest. It sounds a little dry, but it's running free. The handle's good. I don't know why this was discarded. You know, as much as people talk about these things, and they're not as tough as the old ones were, but they survive a lot more than you might think. I've picked up a lot of these off the curb over the years, and I really don't think I've ever found one that I couldn't fairly easily revive. In fact, a lot of them are just dirty and nothing else. And I wonder if that's what happened to this one. It almost looks like it was used once or twice, and then it just sat in a garage or a shed or something and accumulated dirt. And I bet that's why it was discarded. I'd even want to bet that this works perfectly fine. So because of the cord situation, we need to put a new lead on here. We're not going to be able to grab the lead off of there, so we'll just go ahead and open up the bottom part of the guard. In fact, that might even be enough just to grab that. Slip this through somewhere higher up so we can add a new lead. Okay, that's enough to work with. Unfortunately, we're going to lose the strain relief mechanism, but that's not a big deal. We can certainly figure out something else to work around that. It's probably like 18 gauge wire, would be my guess. I don't know which side is the high side and which side is the low side. Can I tell from looking at it? No. It don't matter for the test. We'll just hook it up at random. It'll work either way. One way is just more electrically sound than the other. Okay. This is playing games here. Okay, new cord is connected. The blade appears to be substantially out of balance, but that's coming by no surprise to anybody. Well, maybe some people would be surprised, but if you know about these fans, you wouldn't be surprised. Okay, we're going to be testing at 119.1 the volts. Oh, it's already on. Here we go. Oh, it doesn't work. Huh. Wow, that's actually kind of unusual. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it doesn't work. I'll do a quick preliminary check in here to make sure it's not something stupid like a basic loose wire or something like that. Jeez, I can't believe this doesn't work. That's very surprising to me. The thermal fuse is very easily accessible, and wow, the windings in these things are just getting smaller and smaller every year. I don't see anything obviously wrong here. It's not taking any power. Huh. We're not getting any power to the fan. Hold on, people, there's still a chance. This does not want to stay connected. I knew it would work. I knew it. The blade is very much out of balance. It's kind of noisy. .51 the amps, 58 the watts, with a power factor of 0.94. It's shaking all over the place, of course. But at the end of the day, it's running just fine. Which is of absolutely no surprise to me. Hate these as much as you want. Yes, they're flimsy, they're cheap, they're loud, they don't move as much air as the old ones did. But I stand by the fact that these things are still relatively tough. And I really can't recall the last time I came across one of these that didn't work. Most of the time these are discarded simply because they're dirty. Okay, low works just fine. The medium, you can put the leg back in there so it don't tip over. .57 amps, 65 watts, power factor 0.96. Okay, the high, which of course is the fastest speed. And on high, it's consuming 0.67 amps of current, 79 watts of power, with a factor of 0.99. So everything seems to be working just fine. And while it's definitely out of balance, it's not the worst one I've seen. I don't know what it is with Lasko, but Lasko has a serious problem making a balanced blade. Not moving a lot of air, but considering how dirty it is, I'm not surprised. Actually fairly strong up close, but it doesn't carry that well. I think the guard's not very aerodynamic at all. This one has a very pronounced motor hum to it. Let's see if there's any kind of startup sounds. See, the bearings are still pretty good. That's one thing I'll give Lasko credit for, is that the motors that Lasko is using typically seem to come with adequate lubrication from the factory, which is a problem with a lot of fans sold today. Inadequate lubrication. No, there's not much of a startup sounds. Well, there we go. It's working. We'll clean it up and have a good working free fan. Why bother? Well, it's better than putting it in the trash. Videos on stuff like this gets good views, so it helps pay for the vintage stuff. And this is great to have if you need to have a loaner fan, or you want to use one for a project, you know, doing something dusty or whatever. As people have learned, you don't loan out vintage equipment. You just don't do it. So if someone asks me up, you know, calls me up and says, hey, can I borrow a fan? Well, here you go. I got a Lasko 3733, etc. As opposed to giving out something that's vintage and potentially not able to be replaced. So, there we go. Another one rescued from the trash. There's just no reason to throw out a perfectly good piece of equipment. And we'll go through and clean this up and get it running like new.